Page 13, the Camptown Races. We got some cool stuff going on here. Some challenging stuff going on here to make it sound good. This is in the key of G major, even though it doesn't show it, it is. G major has one sharp and F sharp. They're not putting them in at the beginning. I'm assuming because they haven't introduced you to key signatures yet, I guess. I'm not sure. But if you look at the last measure, the first line, in the right hand, you have a D and an F sharp here, because the F has a sharp sign in front of it, so it's an F sharp. Well, if they had done the key signature and put the sharp in the key signature, you would need the sharp in the measure, because all F's would be sharp. And G major has one sharp, F sharp. So much for that. Let's just go over this, because it's a lot of it's melody, but you got some harmony stuff, and we want to bring out the melody, and then the rhythm is there and the stuff to deal with. So let's just take it a little bit at a time here. The first line, use the right hand starting here in this position, and the left hand, if you look, has a thumb on a B there, so it's here. So it's like we're coming on beat 4, so it's like 4, 1, 2, 3. 4, so it's all melody. And then the next measure, now the right hand is not melody, the left hand's melody, so play the right hand softly. Softly, rest. And then the last note on the line, the right hand, that's melody. So now you're going to play it loud. So it's like the right hand on that measure, you're playing a soft chord and then loud. That's a trick. It causes some people problems and other people get it right away. Second line, last two measures, you're here. That's melody and the right hand is soft. Again, a staccato, just a wrist staccato. Then the third line, we get this dotted rhythm. Have you had dotted rhythms? I hope so, because you got one here. 1 and 2 and. Quarter note gets a count, the dot gets half of the whatever the note gets, so in this case it gets a half a count. So together the dotted quarter note gets 1.5 counts. So the eighth note is coming on the and of 2. So it's 1 and 2 and that's the way the dotted rhythms work. All dotted rhythms work the same way. The dot gets half the value of the note, whatever the note is. So 1 and 2 and. Because normally a quarter note would be at 1 count, the next note would come on beat 2. Because a quarter note only gets a count. 1 and 2. But here the dot comes on beat 2. So you're going to hang on to it's like a quarter note and an eighth note tied together. You're going to hang on to it. 1 and 2 and that's the way the rhythms, there are other rhythms, they all work the same way, just different notes. Then in the last line, look at this. You have here, there's staccatos. I recommend finger staccato, nice and short. The phrase, that's just telling you it's a musical sentence. They can still be disconnected. Then in the last measure, it's here, 2, 3. And it's a wrist staccato here, and it's short, and it's on beat 3. 1, 2, 3, off. And then the left hand comes up on off on the beat 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There is no 4. I'm going to say off. Now you'll notice at the beginning and the several lines in here, there's staccatos. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It has the phrase mark over it, so it's a sentence, but within the sentence they're just disconnected. They're short, and I recommend a short staccato here. A light finger staccato. Not the first note, but after that. The second line you get some more, and the last line you get it some more, even with eighth notes down there. That'll be fun. At the end of the second line, you see the double bars, the two measure lines, the bar lines. It's telling you it's a section break. Music pieces, a lot of them can be in sections. It's like chapters in a book. You can have sections in a piece of music. A lot of times it's a longer piece of music. I learn it by section. I'll concentrate on a section only, because you take a big something and you chop it up into little somethings and you tackle the little somethings one at a time, and then you go back and put the pieces together. So it's like here, learning this piece, I'd learn the first 2 lines and get those pretty good. And then once I had those, then I'd go down and I'd learn the second 2 lines and get those pretty good. And then I'd go back and put the stuff together and get it all. That's how I would do it. And you might think about that as a way to approach learning new music. Not all pieces of music have sections in them. Like the previous page, those don't. But this does. It doesn't affect how you play it. It's just telling you the form of the piece. There's 2 different sections here. And one little trickiness in the left hand at the bottom. You've been playing this whole piece in this position. And so in the second measure, you're going to play that half note here. Well, they want you to play the A, the next note, and 3rd finger. Well, you got to come up one. It's between phrases, so you're going to lift up. So what you can do is just lift up and move. So you can play that A with 3rd finger. Or, if you'd rather, instead of playing the half note B thumb, during the rest, move up and play the half note B with your 2nd finger. And that way you're in position to play the A with 3rd finger. If you want, that's your choice, whichever way you want to do it. Just be aware that the left hand moved a little bit. I believe there is a mistake in the music I want to point out. May not be, maybe they wanted it this way, but I disagree. Look at the last measure of the first line. We have in the left hand a quarter note and a dotted half note. That's 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. The right hand has a half rest for 2 counts and then 2 quarter notes. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. My problem is the left hand on the last beat. The left hand is still playing the ah. You know, the da. That's what you're singing. And now, while you're singing that, they want you to do a the at the same time. You can't do a da and a the at the same time. That's the problem. So I really think the left hand, it should be a quarter note and a half note and a quarter rest. When the right hand plays the last note, the left hand should be resting. The last 2 measures would be that. Right. So the doodah goes away before you start the next one. You don't overlap them. So I would suggest you take a pencil and you just draw in very carefully a quarter rest in the bottom staff there underneath that last quarter note in the right hand, and cross out that dot. Let's play this together slowly. It says full of bounce. It's a happy piece. It's a very happy piece. If you're going to sing it, how fast would you sing it? Like so? Well, maybe you don't like it that fast. You want it slower. It's up to you. It's your interpretation. But I just want to play it with you to check the notes and the rhythms. So we're going to go really slow. I'll give us 3 counts because we come in on beat 4. So the right hand is here. The left hand is here. Okay. 1, ready, go. 4, 4. 1 and 2